Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. India has been a hub of technical education, and that was because of the vision of the leadership that has found expression all the time. 1951 was the time when Jawaharlal Nehru came up with the concept of technological information enhancement, higher education. And the first IIT was established. Today, there are 23 IITs in India. And these IITs are centers of excellence. And their alumni, wow, they are reigning supreme in the global marketplace. Name any large technology organization and you would find an IITian at the helm of affairs. So when President Adhikar talked to me the other day about his idea of expanding IITs internationally, and the Prime Minister has an interest in that, my response was, yes, that'll be good. IITs, the Indian Institute of Technologies, need to convert the first I, into international institutes of technology. They are, in many ways, excellent centers, excelling institutes like MIT. So expanding IITs is a great idea, as I told President Adhikar, but setting domestic house in order is a perquisite. Now the question arises, why expand? Most of the students who come abroad for higher education, if they have the same education at home, and they know that the institution from which they are studying has the branches abroad, shall I tell you, 90% of them would get admission in those institutes. If IIT, for example, Delhi was operating here in Toronto or in Calgary, for example, where I am, all the international students instead of going to any college would like to go there. So the money, the $600 billion money which is being spent by the international students would be coming back to those institutions, and they will be cash affluent. So, not only they will be self-sufficient, but they will be able to enhance their research activities, their technology, their capabilities to enhance the education as well as enrich themselves. And India would save. Most of the people would not be interested in coming abroad because they know that the institutions where they are going to get admission are the same institutions in which they can get admission at home. Secondly, the students who cannot get admission, say in home IIT, would gladly come abroad to get admission over there and pay high fee. India would be saving. But is it feasible? Now, I am not denying, and I am all praise for IITs, which are the crown jewels of Indian education. So when IIT started talk to open up outpost in Britain, that makes sense. A top Indian education brand pursuing international expansion is worth praise. The question is whether everything is top class as far as IITs are concerned. Can they offer a competitive education product in foreign countries and a more advanced market? A significant part of the IIT's success at home is built on the fact that some of the smartest students prefer must get in via very competitive examination. And these students are likely to shine thanks to their own merit. Much of their success is due to pedagogy and research qualities of IITs, including the older institutions. That's a key question. As for the new ones, a 2019 CAG audit of 8 IITs set up between 2008 and 2009 found them in deplorable condition. They are not worth being called IITs. States have not provisioned land properly. That is an audit of 8 institutes set up in 2008 and 2001 year. There is no research sponsored by the non-government sources. And telling of all, over a 5-year period, these IITs obtained 0 patent. The audit strongly indicts the governing bodies for poor stewardship. And that's right, because the governing bodies are packed with the political appointees. Therefore, we need much thought and action before we expand abroad. Now, at this time, an incident comes to my mind. It was the year of 2004 or 5. IIT Kanpur approached me and I was told that they have developed a bulletproof jacket which would be at least 1/10 the cost of the current bulletproofs. And they wanted this technology to be exploited. My first question to them was that if the bulletproof jackets which are so cheap, why not produce them in India itself? Talk to the army. And if you want, I can talk to the army chiefs and we can get it done. They said, no, if we spend abroad, we'll get a foreign exchange. I said, fair enough. So I asked, have you got it tested? They said, yes, we got it tested. I said, fine. Can you send me a test report? No, that will show definitely, but we don't have the report as yet, but we tested it at the army range. I talked to a couple of people and an Israeli company agreed to buy the technology and they sent 10 lakh rupees immediately to IIT Kanpur on my suggestion. So we said, okay, now give us a test report. No, we have tested at home. We said, fine, no problem. Send us the samples. They sent me 4 samples. I talked to my client in Israel and I said, okay, we'll get it tested in the defense lab in USA. So I sent them to defense lab in USA. The first shot at the first sample broke that piece, there were 4 of them, into 6. So it was shattered beyond recovery. We tried second, the same result. They called me up and said, do you want us to continue because each test is going to cost about $1,000. I said, yes, continue with the third one. The same result. I said, okay, let's go ahead with the 4th one as well. The same result. I said, send me the report. I got the report. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. I wrote to him. I said, if this is the sort of research that you are conducting, it's shameful. I wrote to IIT. I said, look, it's a cheating and you're going to get a bad name. So you return the money immediately to the Israeli. They returned the money. And they said, we are going to conduct an inquiry. Whether the inquiry was conducted or not, I'm not. But I saw to it that IIT Kanpur was blacklisted for technology as a technology provider. Now, if that's a sort of technology and you want to go abroad, what are you doing? Coming back to our main thing. In 2010, the Union Cabinet first approved a proposal to allow foreign universities to set up branches in India. At the same time, IIT Bombay started to work on opening an applied science branch in New York City. Nothing came out of it. Most recently, but I was happy about it, the new education policy of 2020 indicates a red carpet for the top universities and they will have a pathway to operate in Gujarat, gift city, without having to follow the restrictive domestic rules. That was also the Government of India's proposal for creating institutions of excellence. So let the foreign universities come and provide a competition to the Indian universities so that with competitive capability they might develop. The broader issue is that if you want to be a global player, you have got to be honest, have integrity, have authenticity. A technology provided by MIT would never have faced the issue which Kanpur IIT faced when they asked me. And I felt bad because I was always under the impression that IIT Kanpur is one of the best. Maybe it is. Maybe this was a one case. But one apple spoils the whole thing. So NEP, National New Education Policy, has proposed a reformed higher education regulator. And when that happens, it can be a first step towards enhancing the capability. But the authorities, both at the central and the state level, have to acknowledge that for-profit private investment is an opportunity that encourages enterprise in the best bet to increase quality. So let the private investment come in the IITs as well. Good faculty, good labs, good libraries, good campuses, all this costs money. Deserving students cannot pay, so they get scholarships. Minus radical reform, most of the higher education would remain as it is today, meaningless. By that I am no way saying that IITs are not good. They are good, excellent. As I said, I have always been impressed by IITians' capability of being innovative, of being capable, of being competitive. But unfortunately, the innovativeness is missing. The ability to look at the things with a fresh approach is missing. And what we need is to develop that spirit of inquiry. Instead of accepting everything, we have to examine, question. IITs have a great future as centers of excellence in India. They have. But I'm talking of their operations abroad. One IIT, or rather two IITs in Canada, 2 or 3 branches in USA. I'm so sorry that IIT Bombay project to set up the college in New York failed miserably. And that was one reason I can tell you. The reason was that they could not provide something competitive. When you want to approach globally, you don't want something to be competitive. You want to be super competitive, surpass all competition. And that cannot be done the way the bureaucratic controls and the political controls are there. Ensure that IITs are divested from all political machinations and it's only purely academic record that is important. I've seen some of the IITs are excellent, Bombay, Delhi, Kharagpur, Kanpur, barring that incident. But I have also seen, as I told you, those 8 IITs, they are junk. But when you make a policy to let those people come, even these junk institutes would open their branches for the sake of the dollar earning. And they will bring a further bad name to the country. And then that reputation would not only stick to them, but it would also be transferred by association to the other IITs. So before you set up operations abroad, ensure that your operations at home are excellent. Where's the need of 23 IITs in India? If they were 20, they were 10. That would have been better than those 23 rotten ones. Let the centers of excellence, you see, they let them be limited, let them be few. so that they remain centers of excellence and are not just copycats, which they are becoming today. What happens is the political need. Well, if that state has an IIT, I should have it. And the government says, well, look here, at the time of poll, we established so many IITs, so many, all these medical sciences. That bullshit attitude has to be within goodbye. And that is the way there can be real gain in money, in reputation, in fame, and that is of enduring value and permanent value. It's not something transient and temporary. It is something which is there forever. And let me tell you one thing more. A reputation once lost can never be regained. Now, do you think that NRC Israel, which was involved in that thing as well, and the private entrepreneur who was to set the bulletproof jacket, they would ever think once again of accepting those technologies? We have got to be authentic and honest. And as I wrote to Manmohan, I said, Manmohan, would you like to wear such a bulletproof vest, which at the first shot from point 375 is shattered to smithereens? Or would you wear a Kevlar? Now, Kevlar can tolerate 0.375, 0.45, 0.32, 35, all of them. It can also tolerate M17 shots. What about those carbon shots? And that's an example. What I mean is, let's set the situation at home in order, cleanse all the organ stables, make them really trustworthy, and then come abroad. That is a gold mine, but you have to be a good miner to exploit gold. Thank you.